Oh, we're back at the now. Damn. We're in the LM time, right? The elementary time, or just when we were little. We were there pretty long. This girl really irks me though. Even when we were younger, she always acted without thinking. I'm not really interested in being involved with someone so reckless.
へえ、いいじゃない。運命の再会って感じでさ。あ、もしかして前に昔いろいろあったって言ってたの、その子のこと？
Some history, yep. Something like that.
ほんで
What do you mean, so?
口を割る気はないとなかなか手強い。胸の谷間程度じゃ不足か。
Didn't you already do that earlier?
ね、あれどうだった？興奮した？
I totally loved it. I did.
アキト君素直。
またバイト中におい、
Oh
いかがわしいことしてんのか。
Now I totally look at this dude differently. I mean, I kind of like see the little Takeichi in him, right? That annoying sort of guy. But you can kind of tell, right? Despite him being a bully, he had sort of a conscience in him, right? It wasn't that like he was a reckless bully and he didn't give a shit about anything or anybody. He took people's feelings into some regard, right? Not that much, but at least a little bit, which is more than you can say for a lot of other bullies. But to then, I'm just, I don't know what it is, man, but like, what happened that we're now just best buddies? I don't know, but yeah, it totally makes me view him in a different light. Not in a worse way or anything like that. Actually, just much better for him to have sort of changed things around in a sense, right? Just getting some advice on life. I answered looking at my phone while Takeichi poured another round of coffee into the paper cup. Our cafe space allowed free refills of coffee. Sometimes we even got a quick meal if the manager was around.
お前の周り女子いっぱいいるじゃん。何も顔も知らないどっかの OL なんかに相手してもらわなくても。
But, you know, I like to diversify. I got a lot of young girls around me. I need one that's kind of older too, you know, to bounce things off of. Mature topics. I'm glad we're not that close though. If you're too close, there's still a lot you can't say. For example, you can't complain about meeting up with a really close childhood friend again after several years. Besides, I gave a bold grin. I might not know her face, but how about this? Oh, wait, we're actually showing it off to him? Look closely, come on, you recognize, you see what it is, right? That's her, you know what? Cleavage. Yep, nothing but cleavage. And I got that from her. Takeichi slumped down even more and looked up at me with such a look of admiration. I just chuckled and shrugged. Komako sent it because she said I sounded depressed. And she just wanted to cheer me up, you know? All of the kindness of this open-minded older woman burst forth from her very soft-looking rack. I'm still like, I think it's like, I'm 80% sure that it's her cleavage, but still a tiny part of me, that 20%, she might be tricking us, right? By like, you know, just showing up a close-up of a body part that looks like it's cleavage, so it's just mindfuckery. She's just trying to trick us.
な、その OL ってさ、お前のこと誘ってるんじゃねえか。
I doubt it.
いや、ありえない話じゃないよ。じゃないとそんな画像送らないって。
I mean, maybe she's just a very free-spirited woman. I don't know.
年下の男の子をちょっとつまみ食いしちゃおっかな。的なさ。
Maybe. You really think so? It's possible. I mean, I thought for just like a second, just maybe, you know.
あるある、全然あるって。いけるって、あき
Are
と。
you sure, dude? She's like older than me, way older. Yeah, but I'm not really that type of guy. Whoa, what's that? But I guess she's always listening to me complain. She's probably really tired from life in the city, so I might be helping her ease some of her stress. I guess that sound was somebody walking into the store, right? We just totally missed it or ignored it. I guess I could give it a try.
何を頑張るの？
Uh-oh, Saya walked in. What? I panicked and quickly shoved my smartphone back into my pocket. It's actually, I don't know. I view everybody in such a much different way now. Now that we were in that elementary part for kind of a long time, right? Like 2 or 3 videos or something. We're in that time period for quite a long time. And now it just sort of feels like we've seen them all grow up. And they just look so different now. Oh man, Saya. Welcome, mademoiselle.
どうしたのそんなに慌てて。すごく怪しいよ。
Of course not. What would I be hiding? It's nothing, really. Just talking, right, Take?
ああ、天の川にはまだちょっと早いな。
Yeah, we totally didn't expect you yet.
早い
I kicked Takeichi in his narrow butt. You idiot! Do you realize how much more suspicious you sound?
口が滑った。
Takeichi took the coffee refill and ran back over to the cafe space. Just ignore him, okay?
もしかして二人でエッチなサイトとか見てた
No, not a site. No, nothing etchy either. What?
とかの男の子だもんね
Hey, come on.
するよね
Come on, that's not something that all guys do. Okay, who am I kidding? Of course everybody does that. What does that mean? That's what guys do. Did you look at those sites too, Saya? That reaction.
見ないよ何バカなこと言ってるのよ
She totally does. She totally does. She probably just has similar like Mio in Saku Saku, right? She probably has like mangas about it. I was just kidding. Though that intense reaction was quite suspicious. She probably has a shit ton of doujin somewhere. Saya blushed all the way to her neck, then hung her head.
私エッチなサイト見
Um,
てるように見えた
no, you don't look like the type. But that's the thing, right? Looks can be deceiving. No, not at all. It was quite strange for her to even say the word.
そう
She's happy about that, like, whew, I'm deceiving them all with my looks. The expression on Saya's face changed to one of complete relief. So, how did that favor
本
go?
当ね天文部の活動をしてなかったみたい
Wait, who? What? I'm like totally lost as to what's happened in like the present now time. It feels like I'm stuck in the past. What? So what are you doing? I remember that we were trying to revive the Six Stars Club, right? And the night sort of ended when we actually met, kind of reunited with Hikari again. But it never really said what happened at that time with her, right? We saw her and apparently she sort of disappeared again? So did she just run off? Did we talk? Did something must have happened, right?
漫画描いてた
Manga? Saya said with a dubious
う
expression.
ちの学校漫研が禁止なんだってだから天文部で漫画描いてるみたい
Oh, of her own school. Oh, I see. Ah, really? So they're just, yeah, we're totally the astronomy club, and then they're just drawing mangas, comics. It's just a cover then. I had asked Saya to check out the Seisen Girls Astronomy Club. Seisen Girls Astronomy Club had once been a member of the Six Stars Club, but they hadn't showed up at the gathering a few days back. Ah, it was the missing group, the missing club. Right. We thought that maybe they were afraid of getting into trouble for meeting with another school without permission, but that wasn't the case. That'll be a bit difficult to explain, though. Saya said apologetically. I had been thinking about how to revive the Six Stars Club, and I had my sights set on Seizen's Astronomy Club to help raise money. 2 schools had already dropped out because of our talk about buying a telescope. I thought I might be able to improve the club's situation if I could pull in the Seizen Club, but who hadn't been at the last meeting. And I had thought that maybe if the Seizen Club had some good equipment, the other 2 schools would be pleased. I was hoping for a bit much, though. Saya just watched me and grinned as I sat there with my arms folded, lost in deep
やる
thoughts.
気だねアキトくん
Yeah, it really seems like our passions revived, right? I guess. Because you can kind of tell already from the elementary part, right? where a lot of our space passion is, I feel like it's heavily connected to Hikari. And when Hikari disappeared, so did our passion of space. Right? It sort of just slowly started to wane. Well, actually, just kind of disappeared entirely, completely. And now that Hikari is kind of sort of back, so is our passion? That's what it feels like.
それってやっぱり光がいたから？
Don't be silly. She's got nothing to do with it. Oh, Akito.
でも前はやりたくなさそうだったのに。
Mm-hmm.
ねえ、本当にいたんだよね。あの光が。
Yeah, she was. I sat there with my arms crossed. I suddenly recalled our reunion from a few days ago. Ah, that's a few days ago, actually. Yeah, what happened? That night, the strange girl I'd met at the abandoned station called my name.
アキトだよね。
It's actually been that long that she wasn't sure. I guess I changed that much, where she's like, "Hey, we were pretty good friends back in the day, right? I'm not sure. You're Akito, right? Right? Hikari?" Even when I remembered it now, I still didn't get her pose, but she somehow gave me more confidence. That was definitely Hikari Hokiboshi. But why? And why there?
のりちゃん先輩。ほうき星さん。
Hey, wait, Nori knows her?
どうしてここにいるの？今日は来ないんじゃ。そのつもりだったんですけどね。やっぱり気になっちゃって。
Is she at that school? Is she in the same... But I thought that her school only had one member in the astronomy club.
どなたですの？うちの新入部員です。
Oh, really? She just got a new member and it's... Wow! It's actually Hikari? Really? But this is... what... This is another thing that I'm so interested about. Like this whole... It's like... I find it really fascinating. Just like the whole history, the part... The past time, right? And what has happened in the time in between all of that. Between now and elementary. Like... What has caused her to disappear and now she's suddenly back again?
どうもー。尼高天文部に新しく入りました。ほうき星ひかりです。よろしくお願いします。
It says Hikaru though.
新入部員？おお。そうなんです。むつら星の会の噂を聞いて入部してきてくれたんです。
Wow, so Noriko is no longer alone either? This makes me look even more sad because I am now the only astronomy club that has only one member. Oh my god, I'm pathetic.
早くもむつら星効果が現れていたんですわね。今夜はなんて素晴らしい夜なのかしら。ようこそおいでくださいました。ほうき星さん、歓迎いたしますわ。
One thing has really bothered me about Orihime. The fact that like, from this particular pose when she's standing, it just seems like one boob is absolutely flat. She has lopsided boobs. That's what it looks like. I'm pretty sure it's just the angle, but like her left boob from our perspective, right, just kind of seems pretty flat compared to how much the left one / left from us, right for her, that particular boob is like bulging out, right? Of course, I'm the only one who notices that shit.
光でいいですよ。ほうき星って長くてまどろっこしいでしょ。光さん、この場所を教えてくれたのも彼女なんです。この辺りに昔住んでたとかで。
Ah, she's the one who told you. That's why.
もうそうでしたの。それでこんな素敵な場所をご存知だったのね。ところで、空見くんがさっきから抜け殻のように無表情を決めてますが。
Cause it's been how freaking long since I last saw her? I had arrived right behind Hikari and had been silently watching their exchange with a dead expression.
どうかなさったの？まるで幽霊でも見たような顔をして。
I don't know, maybe we actually are. I don't fucking know. Maybe this is Hikari's ghost. Yeah, well, that's pretty close to how I feel.
ひどくない？私幽霊じゃないし。生きてるよ。
Yeah, but
ほらほら。
Where the fuck did you go to? She lifted her leg in an attempt to show liveliness. Aside from her old-fashioned pose, her skirt had flipped up and created quite an inappropriate view.
ほうき星さん、空見くんのことを知ってるの？
Oh yeah, we go way back when we were just little kids.
ええ、幼馴染なんです。でもって、私たち三日月天文クラブのメンバーでしたから。ね、アキト。アキト？
Are you really Hikari?
どこからどう見ても私でしょうに。
I mean, it has to be, but like... What happened? Why did you go? Why did you leave? Hikari said while striking some strange, sexy pose. Why does she keep doing that? She like did the peace sign earlier as well. She keeps doing like these strange poses. I mean, of course, we haven't seen her in many years, right? So in some regards, she's probably changed a bit. You've completely changed. She looked nothing like she had when we were younger. She was quite a petite girl back then, always running around in jeans. People that didn't already know her would even mistake her for a boy. Yeah, I would say that there's a little bit of tomboyish in her, perhaps. But now, no matter how you looked at her, she became a total lady. If I had to describe it, I'd say it was like seeing glimpses of the old Hikari in her face and voice.
まあね、私も大人になったからね。
I couldn't believe it. Actually, I couldn't believe any of this.
今日は私が至らぬせいで皆様に迷惑をかけてしまい、自分の不甲斐なさに呆れていました。けれど空見くんに助けていただき、そしてこうして新しい仲間と出会うこともできたわ。なんて素晴らしい日なのかしら。
Yep, this has turned into quite the interesting development.
はい、会長。すごく楽しかったです。
God damn. If only there was an astronomy club at my school, right? And there were these cute girls that was also interested in astronomy. I would have joined that club in a heartbeat. Hikari watched all the other older students talk excitedly with a big grin on her face, then glanced over to me.
というわけだから、またよろしくね、アキト。
So she's pretty much back again, right? She's pretty much back again. It wasn't just a temporary thing. But remember that thing? When we saw like a glimpse of her? And I think Kotaro noticed her as well then, right? And she sort of... she ran after a train, right? I thought that she was... I pretty much figured out that it was Hikari. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, right? She looks kind of pretty similar to the younger Hikari, but just exactly how you would imagine her older version to look like, right? So that wasn't hard to figure out, but like, I'm pretty sure she said something along the lines of like that she missed her train, and it made it sound as if she was trying to leave this place again via the train. Or maybe I just completely misunderstood what she said. That's possible too. But from what she said now, that she's joined that school and he's joined the astronomy club there as well, means that apparently her stay here is gonna be somewhat permanent, at least, right? At least for until she finishes school, I assume. So yeah, she's pretty much back then. I think, I hope, I assume. Oh man, working with you again. If I think back to that day, when I passed by her while walking with Kotaro, she must have been walking back from that place. Was she just trying to go there, maybe? That's possible. If I hadn't really thought about it, at that time, Hikari wasn't actually trying to crash the viewing party. I'm just mad at myself for letting Hikari see me lose control. I'm not getting the 6 Stars Club back together, so I can get back to stargazing, okay? And definitely not for Hikari.
じゃあどうしてなの？
Keep telling yourself that, dude. Maybe you'll actually believe it, too. I just want to end this on a good note. Saya cocked her head to the side with a rather confused expression. If I leave now, there will only be 2 schools left in the 6 Stars Club. To be honest, it'll be hard to continue in that state. So we're only doing it, you know, to help them out, to be a selfless person. That's why, if possible, I'd like to get the group back on its feet before I quit. But to do that, it seems I'll need to do something else other than the Seisen. I'll need something else other than the Seisen girls as the astronomy club. I really wanted to use them to bring back Nishihai and Moro Misawa.
抜けようと思ってるくせにすごく熱心だね。
Oh, I guess. Those guys really like looking at the stars. I really did like the innocent way that Orihime gazed up at the starry sky. And that's another thing that can sort of spark your old passion as well, right? Even if you were passionate about something, let's say, years ago, and you're currently not that interested in it, but to see other people do the same thing you were excited about and see their passion for that same thing, that can just kind of relit that candle, right? Plus, the genuine atmosphere that they created really felt familiar and radiant. I thought it would be nice if I could lend a hand in some way. If there's some way I can help protect that radiant place, then I'd do anything. And then, once it's all over, I'm quitting the astronomy club. Saya's multicolored eyes widened in surprise.
天文部を辞めちゃうの？
Yeah, it's my responsibility, right? If the Six Stars Club could become a place that drew in newer students with its own charm, that would be best. Then it would be easy for me to slip out. Besides, I can't live my entire life in the rooms of the school.
住むところどうするの？家に帰るの？
I don't know, do you have a place, Saya? I'm not going back home. Hopefully by then, I'll have found a boarding house. And if I haven't, I guess I'll just try living in a tent for a while. I laughed lightheartedly. This time, I'll make a clean break from the astronomy club. Right, Take? You weren't even listening, god damn it, dude. Weren't you the one telling me to forget about the astronomy club? Take's face pleaded with me not to bring that up in front of Saya. That was payback for the time that I made the same face at Takeichi.
俺は光のこと吹っ切れよって言ったんだぞ。
Yeah, but I guess we took it as like those two things being similar. It's the same thing to
つう
me.
か前言撤回しとくぞ。光とまた会えたんだったら無理して吹っ切ることねえだろ。
True, it's pretty hard to forget about her now. There's no reason to forget about her either, right? What the hell does that mean? Saya looked at me with a scowl she would usually never show, and just stared silently.
なんで？辞めることないじゃん天文部。光も戻ってきてくれたんでしょ？だったら一緒にやればいいじゃない。昔みたいに。
No way! Who the hell would watch stars with Hikari? I mean, we did when we were little. I mean, what about you, Saya? You don't look at stars or anything anymore, right?
私のことはいいの？
But you were part of the astronomy club too? It seems like she kinda got... I kinda want to say dragged into it, but it wasn't even that, right? She asked herself to join the astronomy club back then when we were little. But I think it's kind of safe to say that that was kind of a in-the-moment thing for her as well. She might have liked looking at stars, and especially when she saw the Alberio. But like, I think it's safe to say that she was the least passionate out of us three. So, and that's kind of just sort of, that passion probably just disappeared over the years for her. But for me and Hikari, that's kind of remained, right? That stayed. Even though we don't really want to admit it. And actually, well, ours disappeared together with Hikari, but Hikari's back, yay! What was she getting all upset for? Saya's cheeks got all puffed up. It was cute, but she was also really mad. But I just ignored her with a blank expression. And that's when a customer came in. Hello, welcome!
もう知らないんだから。
Saya pulled the automatic doors back open before they could close and stormed out of the store. So
お
stubborn.
前もね。
We all are. I completely ignored Takeichi's words of faked astonishment. It was great working with you all today. After my part-time job, I pushed my bike down a mostly deserted and dark street. There must be some other way. Something to get Nishihai and Moro Misawa back. For example, if we were to get the seasoned girls to come back, it would still be quite different from the 6 Stars Club that Orihime wants. But even so, if everyone enjoyed stargazing in a more relaxed atmosphere, it would be easy to bring in younger students. But Orihime was already a 3rd year. She'd be graduating this spring. After she's gone, it would just be Honoka. Would she be able to continue bringing in students alone? Honoka has always been more of an assistant. Noriko is just a beginner, and Hikari is way too fickle. So what, do we feel the need to be the leader of this group? Why do I care so much about that group when I'm the one that's trying to leave anyway? Even I thought it was strange that I worried so much. A message from Komako? Oh, what did she send this time? A bit of leg? I stopped walking and pulled out my phone, of course.
いいこと思いついたよ。
Huh?
望遠鏡が買えないならさ、いっそ作っちゃえばいいんじゃない？
Build one? Can you build a I mean, obviously you can. If something is created in a factory, technically you can make it yourself as well. But isn't that pretty difficult?
どうや、明暗でしょう。
Build a telescope? That's right! That's what we need to do! I had been walking quite sluggishly, but now I hurried to get onto my bicycle. Thank you, Komako! I biked with all the strength and speed I could muster down the street back to the school. This is it! Why are we so excited, dude? I thought we wanted to quit. Huh? Oh shit, back to LM. Here, have a look. I turned to a black and white page at the back of the telescope book I had borrowed from the town library.
本当だ。どれ、私も見せて。
Hikari and Saya peered at the book, their faces closed as they shared a meat bun.
望遠鏡って作れるんだ。
Wow, so we even had the idea back then. I mean, obviously, when we were kids, we were interested in stars, we kind of had a telescope, but like, maybe we wanted to get another or whatever, right? I feel like it can totally be plausible and natural to have that idea of making a telescope.
しかも超かっけえじゃん。
Hikari's eyes shone, just like I guess. They meant shone, but not like showing shone. Shone as in the past tense of shining, right? I guess that's what they meant. They just used the word wrong, shone here. I'm pretty sure shone, the like past tense of shine, is shone. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a native English speaker. Just like I thought they would.
大砲みたいだね。
A huge gun? Saya looked at the black and white photo in the book, her alberio eyes as big as saucers. We were all drawn in by a throwaway page at the back of a book on DIY telescopes. Kotaro looked at us with big, lonely eyes, missing all the attention. I'm sorry. Like, he's probably used to getting all the attention from us, but like, we're more interested in a telescope right now.
作ろう、私たちも。きっと三日月天文クラブの秘密兵器になるよ、これ。
Secret weapon? You're right, yeah, if ever like bad guys attack us, we just whip out a homemade telescope.
こんな大きなもの、私たちに作れるのかな。大丈夫、大丈夫。なんとかなるって。
Somehow. We should all head to the library to see if they have any other DIY books.
望遠鏡作る？
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Orihime and the others looked at the documents laid out on the desk. If we can't buy one, it would be better to build one.
会長？
I mean, it's cheaper, right? And I think it's an awesome activity as well to help reunite the 6 Stars Club, right? Because then we'll all be able to work together, we'll all be able to pitch in without spending that much money. I feel like it's a win-win for everybody. Orihime was silent, but her eyes shone like stars. Hey, you see, there they used the correct shone. Shone like stars.
作りましょう。私たちの望遠鏡。
Yes, I knew you'd be on board, Orihime! She said with excitement as she brought her hands together. It seemed like she was rather pleased with the idea. Noriko watched us all curiously before timidly raising a question.
望遠鏡を作るってどういうことですか？
I don't know, you know, like, you know, get a hammer and some nails and just fucking make a telescope. We mean just that. We'll build it with our own hands. This telescope. This is a Dobsonian telescope. Noriko from Amahai had come all the way to Mako Academy just to hear my proposal. However, she gave a confused look or face, as if to say, "Who is that?" when I brought up the Dobsonian. You see, a Dobsonian is, you know, Dobson? When observing faint celestial bodies, you need a telescope with a large objective diameter that can collect a lot of light. But generally speaking, those kinds of telescopes are quite expensive. Even though we had some trouble with our budget at the last meeting, a large-scale telescope would require a budget several times larger. And since the lens needs to be large, it takes more work to move around, which means many were put in a more permanent location. That's why large-scale telescopes have always been out of reach for amateur astronomers. Then came the Dobsonian telescope. For virtually no money, people were able to build their own light and easy-to-carry, large objective diameter telescopes. Because they are handmade, there is an unavoidable drop in precision that is quite essential to astronomy. I'm not sure how the experts feel about it, but for the amateurs enjoying themselves, this isn't a big issue. It's better to have this than nothing, right, for us amateurs? They want to observe the deep sky objects that are impossible to see with smaller objective diameters. But they don't have the funds or location for such a huge telescope. So that's why they have these handmade telescopes for hobbyists. By the way, the name comes from the person who popularized the design, John Dobson. I totally knew that dude. Dobby. I call him Dobby. He's my best friend. Most are Newtonian-type reflecting telescopes, but the materials for them can be found at local home improvement stores. So you don't have to worry about any special equipment. After saying that, I pointed to the documents I laid out. Blueprints, materials, a rough estimate of the cost, etc. The blueprint I got from the internet was available to the public. Skilled amateur astronomers that had built Dobsonian telescopes many times over had made their blueprints available for anyone to use. Awesome. From those blueprints, I had picked the ones that seemed workable for us.
自分たちで作った望遠鏡で星を見る。なんて素敵な思いつきかしら。
Yes.
費用も大幅に抑えられていますね。
If we can get some scrap material, we could save even more money. The surrounding area was all rural, so I'm sure we could find some materials if we looked.
望遠鏡を作っちゃおうだなんてすごいです。そんなことができるなんて知りませんでした。しかし、うまくいくでしょうか。簡単ではないと思うのですが。
Well, that is...
そんなことは問題ではないわ。
Orihime said
天
confidently.
文学の父、ガリレオ・ガリレイが初めて夜空へ向けた望遠鏡は自作したものでした。
Exactly. And we're just like Galileo Galilei,
そ
okay?
の後、多くの天文家たちが望遠鏡を自作改良し、星空へとそれを向けてきた。
I mean, where do you think Newton got his telescope from, right? He built it himself too.
自分たちの手で望遠鏡を作り、星を望む行為は偉大な先人の足跡をたどる旅でもあるのです。
Also, by making the most essential object to astronomy with our own hands, we'll be able to develop an even deeper understanding. I think there is much to be learned just from making one. Orihime just smiled sweetly and nodded. She's totally on board. She's totally on board with my
も
plan.
しぼんやりとしか星の見えない望遠鏡ができてしまったとしても、それでいいじゃない。
It will be worth it. It would just be a cool experience.
自分たちで作った望遠鏡で見る星の光はきっと格別の眺めとなるはずだわ。
It was just like if we buy a fucking telescope, you know, and just like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Oh yeah, I can see the star. Like, okay, it's cool and awesome, and yeah, it's great, right? But Just, we will have like a personal attachment to our own telescope that we built ourselves. I'm pretty sure the moment we peer through that telescope after we finish building it, tears will start rolling down our eyes again, and we'll think it's broken again because the vision is blurry, but in fact, we're just crying our eyes out. Honoka and Noriko both brightened after hearing Orihime's
この
words.
計画を提案すれば西高と諸見沢も戻ってきてくれるかもしれませんね。きっと戻ってきてくれますよ。だってすごく楽しそうですもん。
I mean, their biggest problem why they actually ran out or walked out right out of the meeting was because of the funds that we requested. They actually were pretty positive about the idea of reviving the Six Stars Club. It was just the kind of money that we asked in order to buy the telescope together that was way too much for them.
やりましょう、会長。
Yes! It seemed as if we had come to a decision. Oh, by the way, I wanted you to take a look at the materials. I pointed to the materials section on the documents. On the entire budget sheet, there was one part that had a special marker next to its price. The main mirror.
こうしますね。
Uh-oh.
高い。
The main mirror is a vital part of a reflecting telescope. The concave mirror plays the important role of gathering light in the lens tube. It takes the place of the lens in a refracting telescope, the type of telescope most people think of, or binoculars. Precision and higher image quality would depend on the mirror used to build the telescope. We could also create our own main mirror, but we would need glass in order to do that. That sounds really difficult. It's worth a try, I guess, but I've researched the price of glass. If you go to a Japanese maker, the quality is nice, but the price is very high. If we go with a maker from overseas, it is cheaper, but there are some downsides. I mean, it's gonna have to be transported, right? Like, it's inconsistencies in quality, or that it could take months from the time we order until the time we receive it. That's true. Yeah, it takes a long time to probably get here. I wasn't sure about the details, but that was the information I had found on the website. With an overseas maker, if there was a problem, it might really get troublesome. What if it gets lost in the fucking mail or something, right? Also, if it took months to get here, Orihime might have already graduated by then.
安全に行くなら既製品か。さもなくば国内メーカーから材料のグラスを仕入れるのが良さそうですね。けどそれだと結構かかっちゃいますよね。そうなるとまた前みたいに。
Well, yeah, but the price would still be less, right? It would still be cheaper than the price that we would spend on buying the whole telescope, right? Otherwise, what's the point of building one? I thought like at least part of the reason was because it would be cheaper to make our own telescope. And besides the fact that it's just a cool, awesome idea. That's true, but I might be able to do something about that. Hey, maybe we have like special connections with the black market.
どうにかとは？
I think I know of a place with some glass we could use as our material. I can't make any guarantees on the quality, but... Oh, and I have one request. Could you guys give me the contact info from Hikari from Amahai?
大木星さんの？
Of course, yeah, I need to talk to her. Even though we were already acquainted since we were childhood friends, I still felt uneasy about asking for another girl's contact
でしょう
information.
か？はい、
Honoka took out some kind of
これを
paper.
どうぞ。新しい名簿です。
On the list was Hikari's name and contact information. Thanks a lot.
いいえ、助かったのは私たちの方だわ。
Oh, they're all excited. Orihime said as she grasped my hand. It was, nothing.
前回の官房会でも助けていただいたわ。本当に何とお礼を言ってよいのやら。
Don't worry, even though we'll never admit it to ourselves, we are doing it for our own kind of selfish reasons too, okay? Because we fucking love space.
はい、すごいですよね、空見くん。まだ1年生なのに。
The three older girls gazed at me proudly. And the most beautiful out of the group was currently holding my hand in her own. Her hands were so soft that I started to think about how nice it would be to sleep, wrapped in their warmth in her hands. Why would we be sleeping in her hands? Anyway, Just let me know if you come across any materials we could use for the mirror. I wanted to shake off Orihime's hand to hide my own shyness, but I didn't want to waste this opportunity. I stayed put, fully aware of how hot my face felt. I'm never washing this hand ever again. You have to chop it off my fucking body in order to wash it, okay? I'm sure they will re-friendzone me since I'm younger than they are. I don't know, don't count yourself out so quickly, dude. Some girls like younger guys. Sometimes I just didn't know what to think of Orihime and the others' attitudes toward me. Well, at least I've got my hands on Hikari's contact info. I stopped my bike and pulled out the list I got from Hikari's current contact information was written there. It was her phone number, email address, plus the ID for a chat application that I always used, WeChat. As I thought about the best way to reach her, I went over some messages I had sent to Saya. Hey, do you remember that time we built the telescope?
あったね。
Oh, we actually built a telescope together with Saya too? Do you remember what we did with the thing we used for the reflector?
エンシェントイビルアイのこと？
I think so? Evil Eye? Yeah, that one!
そう。どこやったっけ？私持ってないよ、あんな大きなの。
I don't have it either. Did we trash it, maybe?
多分、光なら知ってると思うよ。
I could ask her. The Ancient One's Evil Eye. Hikari had found it back when we tried to make our own Dobsonian. She's probably thrown it out by now. Maybe it's best not to even ask. We're thinking about Orihime though. I feel like, we should definitely try for her. Well, it seems like there are some expectations, so I might as well just do it. I can't let down. I can't disappoint Orihime. Oh, but before that, I better thank Komako. Komako was the one who'd given me the Dobsonian telescope idea. I mean, her cleavage surely inspired me. Thanks to your idea, Komako, the Six Stars Club might be okay after all. Thanks a lot for your help. I should probably use this momentum to talk to Hikari too. Yeah, we got the courage right now. We've been texting Saya, Komako, now we might as well just text Hikari too. We're on a roll. I registered Hikari's phone number and mail address to the address book of my smartphone, then opened up the chat application to register her ID. Most people use this app to communicate these days. I thought that this would be the easiest way to communicate with her. She obviously felt the same way since she had an ID. What the? I searched using the ID, but only one user was displayed. Komako. Wait, what? Now why would Komako be displayed? Are you kidding me? Wait! Komako is not Komako? That's just Hikari pretending to be Komako? Are you kidding me? What? I thought I'd made a mistake when putting in her ID, so I tried searching again. Komako. That name appeared again. What in the world is going on? I couldn't understand it. Did this mean that Hikari was using the same username? Come on, dummy, think. I compared the ID I had received from Honoka with Komako's ID. Komako with C's 820. Komako 820. They were the same. Also, I mean, they're not technically the same. There's C's and there's K's. Also, I recalled seeing this number before. Isn't this Hikari's birthday? What, 820? I'd always thought they were just a random collection of digits, so I'd never thought much about it. What the hell? What the hell is going on? So despite Hikari's absence, she actually found a way to reach out to me as well? Just under a different alias, right? Pretending to be someone else. She basically catfished me. She pretended to be a MILF. To get my interest, to get my attention. Komako's ID and Hikari's ID were the same?
本当？よかったじゃん。応援してるからさ。頑張ってね。
Yeah, the veil, the illusion is gone, okay? We understand. This is Hikari, not Komako. You can change the old lady voice now to Hikari's voice. Komako's reply arrived with perfect timing, but with the seeds of doubt planted, I couldn't help but be suspicious of her words. By the way, I was hoping you could help me with one more thing.
なになにどんとこいだよ。
Do you know where the Ancient One's evil eye is? Let's see what she reacts. She read the message, but she's not responding. She's like, oh, abort mission! He found through it! He realized! He somehow figured it out. The message I sent was already marked as read, and the usually quick to respond Komako remained silent. I wondered if she was scared away by that painful memory of the Ancient One's evil eye, or she might just be in the middle of frying some tempura. Otherwise... Is this really Hikari? Yes, it is. Despite my age, I'd had a fair share of experience, but every now and again, even I was caught by surprise. I was pretty surprised that I'd run into Hikari at that abandoned train station too, but this situation was quadruple the level of stupefaction. Stupefaction? What the fuck is that? I felt like the world had been turned over. I was sure that this was how ancient people had felt when they saw the first total solar eclipse. I'm just gonna go to work. I rode my bike to work, still dumbfounded. Wow. And here I thought I was actually a cool guy.
の正体が光だった
Yeah, I thought I was a cool guy talking with MILFs and shit. It's just Hikari catfishing me.
悪い。意味がさっぱりわからん。光がどっかに就職してた
No, everything about that character, that lady Komako, is fake. It's just made up. No, it just means that Hikari was pretending to be the office lady
なん
Komako.
でだってその OL とはネットで知り合ったんだろ
Yeah, I'd met Komako on the net, the interwebs. It was on the message board of a certain astronomy website. That's where I'd found a certain piece of astrophotography. The photo had been uploaded about a year ago. That looks like a curry puff. The big dumpling, or a dumpling I guess, is what the comment on the photo had said. Maybe they were trying to say dipper. An amateur had taken the photo, and seems to have added the photo for fun. No one had responded, so I decided to write something. That's a nice photo. An original constellation? A few days later, a response was posted. Thanks for the reply. It's an original constellation I made a long time ago. We exchanged messages a few times until one day, I received an email. I was naive enough to put my email address on the message
今
board.
都会の方に住んでて全然星が見えないの。退屈しのぎに星の話に付き合ってもらえると嬉しいな。
So she reached out to me, huh? That was 2 months ago. Since then, I've been exchanging messages with the office lady, Komako. Back when we were kids, we couldn't remember the names of any constellations, except for the most famous ones. So we would just connect a bunch of random stars and make our own. One of those was the big dumpling. Takeichi looked at me with a face that said, of course Hikari would use a name like
ア
that.
キトはそれを偶然見つけて掲示板にレスを書いたわけか
Apparently, maybe it's just faith, I guess? I don't know. I didn't think that Hikari could have uploaded it. Besides, she had said she was an office lady from the city. I just believed that other people has the same idea as Hikari and I, so I thought nothing of it and just kept exchanging messages with
そしたら
Komako.
やっぱり光だったと
It appears that way. Do you know where the Ancient One's evil eye is? I didn't get another message after that message was read. I had thought for a second it might just be a coincidence, but after going over the facts and seeing how I've yet to receive a message, I was about 99% sure that I was
なん
right.
とまあ
It has to be right.
年下の男を誘惑したがってる OL なんてそうそういないってこったな
That's true. And with those words, Takeichi shattered my dreams. As sad as it is, indeed, it's probably true. But wait, does this mean that the cleavage photo... That's Hikari's cleavage then, right? or maybe just like her armpit, or like, you know, the elbow crease of her or something like that. But it should be a picture of Hikari's body at least, not necessarily her cleavage, but at least Hikari. I really did think she was an older
気
woman.
持ちはわかる。切ないよな。憧れの相手が幻だったなんて。
Yep, such is the pain of being catfished. I shook my head weakly. No, that's not it. We talked about stuff, from really lame confessions to serious advice about life. That's actually true, right? We actually, because she felt... It was probably just one of those situations where it's just like, I kind of like talking with this lady. Never will really happen between us. She lives far away. But I have this level of comfort with her, so I feel comfortable talking with her about just sort of weird, serious stuff and stuff, right? So it was easy for us to probably open up to her and just think like, this will never come and haunt me back in my real life. She'll just either listen to what I have to say, maybe even give me advice, blah, 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 and that's it, right? Turns out we said every single thing of that we thought was to that office lady was... Hikari knows that now, right? We told that to Hikari. I said as I showed Takeichi the chat log I had with Komako. I'd really like your advice about something.
何言ってごらん
What's the age limit for a guy who's uninitiated? Wait, what?
なんて読むのそれ
Like a virgin.
童貞
There's no there's no age limit. There's no like expiry date. B, you can best before age 25, otherwise throw it away or might as well kill yourself. Komako?
今ちょっとググってる
You're searching the web? Isn't an old wise lady like yourself, Komako, supposed to know the answer? 5 minutes later.
いいんじゃないかな何歳だって結婚するまで守ってこそ紳士だよ
お前さ、バカだ。
We kinda should have known that one, right? Considering she googled the answer, like what the fuck? I know, but at that time, I was really worried about it. Around the end of summer vacation, a bunch of guys in our class started exchanging information, who they had and hadn't given up on. I had sat through the entire thing with a rather bored expression on my face, but inside, I had been shaking. It was normal for guys our age to worry about stuff like that.
こんなのが他にもある。
I nodded. My expression, grave dude, that was not even the worst. Before I knew it, I'd brought up my dark past. And so, Hikari had all of that information in the palm of her hand.
じゃああの胸の谷間は
I know, right? I was thinking about that too. Take. Yeah. Yep, there it is. That chest belonged to Hikari. I actually didn't see this before. I only saw like the lower part of it, right? The lower part, that looks like cleavage, right? But you kind of see at the top of the picture, that's sort of like the collarbones, right? So this actually is actual cleavage. I mean, you could just as well just find a picture like this on the internet, right? From just a random woman, and then crop it or something, and then just like, yeah, hey, look, my cleavage. So this isn't necessarily proof that it's Hikari's body or that it's a real picture, but it does seem to be of actual cleavage though, not just like a body part that looks like it could be cleavage if zoomed up real close. Because the collarbones definitely give it away. This is an actual chest. She was quite big. It's kind of hard to see under that jacket, but yeah. She had gotten taller, but she'd gotten also bigger there too. So that means this selfie really is Hikari's cleavage? As Takeichi leaned over to peek at the screen, I quickly covered it. Nope, you're not seeing it. It's mine, dude.
なんで隠すんだよ。
Dude, it belongs to me.
だよそれ。ケチ。
Come on, man. It's our childhood friend. She sent it to me, not to you. Anyway, back to work. I turned back to work, suddenly feeling a bit more at ease. Whew. After returning to my room after work that night, I got my dinner ready, like I always do. I warmed a can of on the portable stove and poured the hot water into a container of instant noodles with a discounted rice ball. While waiting, I stared at my smartphone screen aimlessly. What are we gonna do with this picture, huh? The image of Hikari's cleavage. She'd certainly gotten bigger, but was she this big? Seems like it. My memory was cloudy, so I couldn't remember it well. I had been so upset by the sudden reunion that I couldn't recall what Hikari's chest looked like. I mean, considering what the last time, I don't know, like the LM, right? She was still fairly small then. We're all very young then, right? But we don't know what the last time was when we actually saw her. And considering, if you look, whenever we change times, right? You see like that little disc at the bottom right? It says Elem, and then there was one in the middle. I think Norm? Maybe Normal or something, and the other one was Now, right? So there seems to be a whole timeline that's in between those two that we haven't even gone into yet. So maybe like the last time we saw her, she was already like, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, something like that maybe. So yeah. But at least from like the elementary time, of course she didn't have any boobs back then. She was as flat as a piece of paper. Still no reply from Komako. She'd replied within 5 minutes when I asked her about being a virgin. This was the first time she had taken so long. Thinking it over again, there had been quite a lot of coincidences between the time I'd first met Komako to the time where I'd met Hikari again. I don't remember it quite well, but didn't we actually tell Komako a little bit about what we were planning to do, right? Meeting up with the Six Stars Club, going to the actual Stargazers meet too and stuff. So that was probably the reason why Hikari ended up being there, because we gave her the information. That night, Noriko had said that a new member had joined after hearing about the Six Stars Club. She must have heard about the club from me. I had talked to Komako about it. And on the night of the stargazing event, she had been in that old place. She knew that I'd be there, I don't know what she was waiting for there. She could have been waiting for me, but I really don't know. The real coincidence would have to be me finding that photo on the net. At that time, I had been in something of a sentimental period. That was because the Hubble Space Telescope was said to be decommissioned. Oh no, not the Hubble! I had been avoiding astronomy, but for some reason, at that particular moment, I decided to wander around some astronomy websites. I thought to console myself while reading posts from other sentimental people. So, me finding the big dumpling photo really was a coincidence. Yeah, I mean, you know, unless it was all just some huge lure, it's possible. It's possible that Hikari put that photo up there, right, under a different alias, blah blah blah, and hoping that we would somehow find it, right, as a way to try and reach out to us indirectly. But still, it's still a coincidence that we stumbled upon it and found it, right? Even if her intention was for me to find it, the chances of that happening is extremely low, considering, right, how many, there's probably multiple astronomy websites, astronomy forums, blah blah blah. What are the chances of us finding that one picture on that one astronomy forum / website and us replying to it, talking, hitting it off, and then her, I mean, maybe maybe we had like an obvious nickname, right? Akito Lover, no, not Lover, Akito Boy 69, some shit like that, right? That she could have known that it was us immediately, probably, but still, the fact that we saw that post and actually replied to it, chances of that is fairly low. Some might even say a miracle. If so, then Hikari had uploaded that photo to the net knowing that I would comment? I don't think knowing, that's the thing. I don't think she knew it would happen. She hoped it would happen. There's a difference, right? She had laid out the perfect trap for me? Why did she even feel like she needed to? But what bothered me the most was that Hikari was still watching the stars. Why does that bother you? She hadn't actually gotten bored with it. Is it Komako? The dark screen of my smartphone shot back to life as it notified me of a new message. She replied, what is it?
エンシェントイビルアイなら 私たちの秘密の天文台にあるよ。
She's given up on the act. She's just like, alright, he found out. I'm gonna now just act like I'm Hikari. Our secret observatory. I felt a strange kind of calm restored as I read the message. I replied with a short, I see, and set my cell phone down and went to eat dinner.